how to record a total voice range profile in Cantaris. Now, the steps that I'm going to show you are actually also found on the website. When you scroll all the way down, visit the user guide, and then in the little menu, you click under recording on recording the voice range profile. And this is going to show you the exact steps that I'm also going to do right now. So let's get to Cantaris. I made a measurement for this person. So this person is going to be me in this example, but it will probably be a client or any person that you want to measure a voice from. Any singing student, any vocal coaching student. Let's see. So what we're going to use is this blue button right here, the vocal performance range, and also the recording blue button, record VPR, right here. That is the only button that we're going to use for making the whole profile. So I will switch speech range profile off. What we always advise people is to start out with one neutral vocal on any tone and any loudness that your client feels comfortable with. Now, we want this to reflect a little bit about the speaking voice. So when someone is speaking on the pitch that I am right now, and you're going to ask them to make this vocalization, and they're going to do ah, you're going to say, okay, leave any technique out of this, just a plain sound like you're speaking, a neutral vocalization. That is what we want to measure, maybe at least 3 seconds of it, so not too short. That is the first recording that we're going to make. So you'll explain this to your client, you'll click the button, your client will go click the button again, and this will show you the tone that was being produced by your client. We're not going to interpret this already. You've seen a video about that. Let's go forward. So you can do all of this, if your client is familiar with it, in one big recording. But the fun thing is that when you chop it up into different tries, you can see each one of these tries in the diagram later on. So I advise to just keep on hitting that button to start and stop the recording to catch every vocalization that you can, so you can chop it on later. Let me show you what I mean. So the second recording is going to be soft voice. So I explained to my clients, I want to make a very, very soft voice, just like you did just a second ago, but really soft, not whispering, but a really soft voice, like this. That was softer than what I just did. Now we know out of scientific evidence that when people are making soft voice, it will take a couple of tries before they truly reach their softest. So let's do that again. Alright, that was a little bit softer. Now we want to take this soft tone and pull it upwards, making a higher tone. So you could tell your client, make a siren upwards, but staying really soft. So this is going to show you a contour. Now we're going to do this one more time, but at the end of the session, because then the voice is a little bit warmer and maybe you can drop a little bit softer, because we really want to know how soft you can perform. So that's looking quite good. If you see a lot of pieces missing here, you could ask your client to do it once again or twice again or whatever. So moving back to the place of comfort, make a soft voice again and glide downwards. That was quite soft. Now, if you're doubting whether your client can go any softer, ask them to create a very, very, very low tone, the lowest they can make, and it doesn't really matter whether it's soft or loud, just really low. So you can put that recording in the middle of it, see if that is truly the lowest anyone can go. Now, as you see, there's already kind of a nice drawing right here, because the place of comfort and oftentimes the speaking voice is in the first octave of the total range. And in general, that's a normal thing to see. Now, if the place of comfort or the speaking voice would be somewhere halfway, that could probably mean someone is lacking control over their speaking voice, for example. Now, we channel our client back to the middle, to the, let's say, the comfortable middle, and make a very loud vocalization. It should be really loud, but it should still feel comfortable. So the loudest you can go while staying comfortable, and that would sound a little bit like this. Ah. Oh, that's quite a lot of sound. It's 59 decibels, something like that. Now, as you see, this is a little bit more of a higher pitch than we just saw, and that is normal for most voices, at least untrained voices. Now, you'll tell your client, this is going to be the center again, very loud tone. Let's make it again and glide downwards. So for this upper contour, we're going to start gliding downwards, because going very loud and up, well, it is going to need a little bit of warming up. So at that point, we'll have warmed up. So let's make loud going down. Alright, so this diagram is being pulled all the way to here. This is what you'd ideally want to see, that someone can control the voice at least to go to that very low spot right here. Sometimes you see people stopping before they reach their lowest. Now when you see that, just tell them that, try again, try to get that control, let it stay comfortable in your throat, and try to reach that lowest tone. See how loud you can stay on that lowest tone. Now, you tell your client your voice is a little bit warmed up. Let's see how it goes if we make a very loud sound and go upwards. Now, maybe more important with men than with women, probably, when you will reach a gap in your register, especially non-singing or non-voice professional men, they stop their voice. Well, when you reach the squeaky voice, let's say, just keep going. Whatever quality comes out, if it's still comfortable, it's part of your total performance, and we want to measure it. So, loud going up. So, you make a lot of sound, in especially most singers, because I'm not a singer, I'm not a professional voice user, let's say. In a lot of singers, you will want to do this twice or 3 times to get this whole measurement right and to see the dip in the register more clearly. See where it happens, see how someone controls the voice there. It shouldn't be aesthetically pleasing, it should be just the total performance of voice. Okay, when you think that your client has truly reached their loudest, highest and lowest, you go back to finalizing the drawing a little bit. In this sense, it would be starting high, but very soft, and gliding downwards to the most comfortable level. So, because I told you it'll take 4 or 5 tries to reach the softest loudness, and it often takes only 2 tries to reach the loudest. So this is the part, the low part here, the soft part, sorry, that we're really interested in. So let's try that. All right, that was a little bit softer than what we just saw. So let's say that that is the filling of the total voice range profile. As you see, we use gliding tones. You could try this on every single semitone. So click a semitone, get that piano tone, and get the softest and loudest on that tone. You can use Cantaris that way, that's no problem. But this way is really fast and it gains roughly the same results. Now, if someone's voice control is quite lacking or not that good, not that well developed, then this will take maybe 3 or 4 minutes. When someone has very good vocal control, of course they make longer sounds and it's going to take a little bit longer, but you're never going to spend more than 5 or 10 minutes, I think, on this protocol. Now, before we move on and interpret this a little bit, I advise you to click on Options and click Eraser. When you click Options again, you can see the eraser is activated, and you can kind of get rid by clicking on little measurements right here that aren't connected to the main field. Now, when you've done that, just click the eraser again to deactivate the eraser, and you can use the harmonicity, the irregularity, the vocal ring, and the quality measurements that Cantaris has to offer. Now, to get into vocal ring, you can see a lot of difference here. Vocal ring is the amount of 3000 Hertz or singer's formant activation. So, of course, in more loudness, you're going to also see a lot more vocal ring. And especially in singers, you want to see that in the loud and high parts, or the parts that someone occupies when they sing, you want to see more green tones. In very soft vocalization, there is rarely that much vocal ring, so that's quite normal. The irregularity is about how regular your vocal folds are vibrating, and harmonicity is the amount of harmonics versus the amount of noise in it. Now, there'll be more videos about these specific measurements right here, but the main measurement that we're interested in is, of course, the lowest and highest frequencies, the range, which is almost 3 octaves right here, and the loudness range, which is 46 decibels. Now that means that the softest to the highest, there's 46 decibels in between. Now, this is how you record the voice range profile. We're going to be analyzing a lot of different voices this way, going to make a lot of more videos also, but these are the basic steps to record the whole voice range profile.